I work at a pizza shop, and at this job, I am often the only female working during a shift. One night while I was working, it was just me and two male coworkers. One was the shift leader and one was the driver. It was getting late into the shift, so the shift leader was in the back of the store starting inventory, and the driver was starting dishes in the back of the store as well. A middle-aged man came in and I went to help him. As I began helping him, he immediately started talking about how he wanted me to make his pizza because of how cute and small I was. At the time, I was 18 years old. I felt like his comments were kind of inappropriate, but I ignored it to be polite, smiled, and went to make his pizza. In the shop, when we make pizza, the customers can see us, but our back is to them. I was pushing out the dough, and he started to make more comments about how happy he was that a small girl was making his pizza and how he liked watching me make his pizza. My boss started to hear him as he got louder. He was getting uncomfortable by what this man was saying and asked me to step in the back so the man couldn't see me anymore. When I was out of sight, the man began yelling, "Oh, bring the little girl back. Where did she go?" My boss finished his pizza and told him to have a good night. The man reached his head towards the back of the store and could see me sitting down. As he left, he looked me in the eyes and said, "Goodbye, little girl." This man was not picking fun at me just to be mean. He was saying these comments only to me in the store. When my boss came out, who is a male, he was nothing but polite to my boss. But whenever I was in front of him, he mentioned my body and my gender. Even when I was out of sight, he wanted me to come back so he could look at me. In America, women are discriminated against, especially in the workplace. In the history of America, we have yet to break the glass ceiling, meaning that in many occupations, men make more money than women, even if they hold the exact same position. Even if women have more skills and are more qualified, in many occupations, the men will be promoted first or make more money. Sexism comes from the idea that one sex or gender is seen as superior to another. The issues that women face in the workplace is a part of the sexism women face in America, but this idea that men are worth more than women extends to many other parts of our society. This man had most likely been socialized in America and has most likely become accustomed to the culture where women are treated as less than men in many institutions. Perhaps he felt it was okay to speak to a woman in such a manner, giving his opinion on my body without being asked, because of the culture in America where men are seen as superior. I believe one of the main reasons he felt justified in speaking to a woman like he did was because this type of behavior has become normalized. Gender discrimination, the differential treatment and harmful actions against certain genders, is often embedded into cultural norms. This can be through the concepts previously mentioned, but I think one huge aspect of normalizing this type of behavior and gender discrimination is gender roles in America. Gender roles are commonly assigned tasks or expected behaviors linked to an individual's sex-determined status. In America, women are often expected to be timid and to not talk back to authority, which can make us targets for unwanted and unasked for comments from men. I present myself very feminine. I have longer hair, I usually wear a little makeup, and usually wear rather feminine clothes. I am also very small, I am only about 5 feet 2. This man assumed that I would not talk back to him because of perhaps the expected behaviors of women, especially a small woman. He knew that I would most likely not break the expected gender roles because that would be going against a social norm. If I could go back to the situation, I'm not sure what I would say. I could have told him that he has no right to talk to me like that, but the structures in my society I felt like prevented me from doing so. While I do have free will or agency, certain social norms in my culture I think would have prevented me from changing anything, also known as structure. All the concepts that I talked about before, such as gender discrimination and gender roles, made it so that if I had said anything about him being inappropriate, he would have just brushed it off and continued to talk at me.